Streets where the deer don't go, but the hunter still stalks now, dog, you know. He prays for the prey before he labors low, or we might dodge a shot, find a better home, make way for the princes around the block, make way for the club, put their drones on lock. Everybody wins, except for the loser. Over in the park by the railroad track on a sunny day, you could just relax and nobody gave a damn if your mind was bent. It's a bird with a lake feel after sunset. Now they're tearing up the benches where we used to go, and dragging us out like all along the skid road. Everybody wins, except for the losers. Who gets by and who gets broke? Who dances on the pieces? If you're coming for the show, you'll be gone tomorrow. The scaffold and a for sale sign agree, it'll be the last year around here for me. Everybody wins, except for the losers. If you're coming for the show, you'll be gone tomorrow. The scaffold and a for sale sign agree, it'll be the last year around here for me. Everybody wins, except for the loser. Everybody wins, except for the loser. Thank you.
Simone and the guys from $100. And to all the fabulous creative artists in this city that make this city the beautiful place that it is.
And now we're going to talk about action planning. And there are 2 weeks of action in this city leading up to this council meeting on the 26th and 27th that will implement the Ford Vision budget for the next 3 years. So these are a very important, even historic 2 weeks in this city.
So my name's Kelly O'Sullivan. I live in the downtown east. I'm the president of QP Local 4308, representing over 400 community and healthcare workers. I'm a member of the Stop the Cuts Network, OCAP, and a supporter of many grassroots community initiatives. The Stop the Cuts Network came together in this city because we can't just talk about what needs to happen, we have to take action. Words and messages aren't going to change what happens down at City Hall. We have to be ready to mobilize, resist. On September 26th is a crucial day at City Council. The Rally for Respect will be happening at 5:30 p.m. It's a broad labor and community coalition, and our voices, and each and every one of us, need to be there that day, because while the rally goes on into the early evening, we can't let that rally stop. We can't let our presence stop at City Hall that day. We can't walk away from what the Ford agenda will be planning behind those closed doors that day, or we walk away from the city that we want. We have to stay there that night. We need to be prepared to take over that public space as our space, to camp out, to own it, to declare this city is our city. And we will not let a corporate agenda, fear, mongering, racist, sexist, homophobic, and transphobic council stop this city being what it can be and what it should be a city for the people.
Yes.
We will stay there overnight. We will have a solidarity breakfast the next day to nourish our bodies as well as our souls, to stand in solidarity with CUPE 416 and CUPE 79, public sector workers that will be facing the brunts of cuts through the loss of jobs. Good jobs and good wages are something we should all be fighting for, not the race to the bottom that the Ford agenda wants to try to divide us amongst. And at some point, we need to decide at that space what happens on the 27th. Do we let a meeting go ahead as planned, as usual, as if nothing is going to be happening there? Or do we speak out? Do we mobilize? Do we take action to shut it down? Woo! If they want to try to plan to take apart our city, to shut down services, close daycares, libraries, cut programs to LGBT, are we going to stand there and let them do it?
No.
That's the question for all of us here today.
No.
Are we going to stay outside and be peaceful and respectful? Or are we going to speak out and take action? Woo! That's the only thing that we can do on September 26th and 27th. Bring as many people as possible to fill that square, to have our voice heard, to shut it down. And if they do take that meeting, it will only be because they have not been able to stop us. If that meeting takes place, let it be behind a line of police officers keeping out the public.
Yeah.
Let it be in secret, because that's where the deals are happening and that's where the agenda is. That space is our space. Let's take it back and let our voices be heard.
So thank you everybody for working so amazingly and so efficiently. We're going to now begin brief report backs on action from the various groups, and then we will have the report back on the declaration. So, the first group to report back on action.
Hi, I was working with the people who are interested in healthcare. I have 3 pages, but I'll try not to be too boring. A first simple, easy thing to do on your Facebook page, make sure you post the No More Cuts page. Use your local networks to put out the call for September 26th. For example, Nursing Association. Promise food for September 26th. Send the word out to outlying places like Hamilton and then help them get here. See if you can organize transportation, for example, from community centers as a focal point. Get the word out to the high schools, either through law, civics, world issues. If you know teachers, tell them to bring it up in their class. Network with individual teachers and teachers' unions. Organize by profession. Use their call-outs. Put up posters at your workplace. Target the councillors in the mushy middle. We're suggesting that Stop the Cuts post the names of the mushy middlers and get on their case. Be prepared to speak to the media, so if you're at the rally, think about what you would want to say, something really succinct. Learn how to do sound bites. Ensure that the Toronto and Ontario Health Coalitions are going to participate. Thank you.
All right. So this is Jaden Finch Rexdale's action plan for support. Thank you. All right, so we want to start building towards the 26th by looking at local groups. We want to do a local mass organizing strategy. So going door to door, knocking, malls, community spaces, the health centers, the community centers, libraries. We wanted to have a visual impact. We realized media will be there. So at City Hall, we want like what's being cut and have that visual impact. So let's have our children in strollers and represent the child care experience. Let's have books. Let's have people in scuba gear, rec stuff, swimming stuff. Let's look at the cuts in a visual way and who's going to be affected by those cuts. So go down to City Hall with signs clearly saying our issues. So our next JFAT meeting, we will be looking at bringing Rexdale and Jane and Finch together to look at a strategy that more people are at the table who are going to be impacted. And looking at collective arts and banner making day, team building, sharing experience, storytelling, and follow up with our neighborhood in meetings and making flyers for the 26th. Bomb bomb.
Hi, Group 10, that's public sector workers. On December 31st, many city contracts expire. And that means that we have both a crisis and a golden opportunity to reach out to existing community groups and an opportunity to leverage existing organizations and not reinvent the wheel. We want to target particular councillors. We want to establish a team of speakers, and we want them to reach out to areas other than the downtown to challenge the perception that this is just an elitist group of people from downtown. It's not. People in Scarborough work union jobs in downtown Toronto and vice versa, and we want to link those communities together with the said group of speakers. Finally, we talked about whether or not it was useful to use those existing organizations and their budgets and ask them if they would run advertisements. We had some very good specific expertise on that issue who said that it was not cost effective. And so letters to the editor are far more cost effective, and that's what we're going to do.
I am from the Child Care Group. We'll be taking similar actions to the September 22nd occupation of Rob Ford's office by councillors' offices around the city as part of a broad child care campaign. That's it.
I represent Group 12, libraries. We spoke about a number of ways to come out and talk about this issue, but the easiest thing that any of us can do is deputations. If you can, be there on the 19th, talk to City Council, tell them how you feel about all this, and if you can't, write them. Email them or send them a letter or something and make your voice heard. On top of this, there's a group, there's a group and a website, ourlibraries.to, that is already pursuing this issue. So if you can get involved with them, help them, or get some resources from them to do whatever you feel is right, that's a good resource that you should be taking advantage of. In addition, we also talked about a protest, a read-in. We all get together and we go to City Hall, we sit in front of it, and we read, and we show Rob Ford that just because he doesn't read doesn't mean that we don't read. And on top of everything else, go to your local library and talk to your librarian, because they probably have an opinion on this, and they probably could use your help. So do that too. Thank you.
We're from Group 8 Housing. One of the things that we want, that we put forward is housing, affordable housing is not gravy, it's essential, and everyone should have housing. We also wanted to take away the focus just away from the mayor and focus on the mayor and all of the councillors. And even if they're councillors that don't support affordable housing, we need to go after them and attack them too, and especially the mushy middle. We also want to get a broad base of support, and one of the things that we talked about is focusing on getting support from people who live in affordable housing. Oftentimes their voice is not heard, people make decisions without them, and we think that even if it's a door-to-door campaign, we need to go door-to-door in every housing unit, whether it be TCHC or co-ops or other forms of affordable housing, and get to people and let them know what's going on, because they may not know.
Hi everybody, I'm from the Women's Services Group. So on the 19th, we're going to be having an event called Air Your Dirty Laundry at 11:30 a.m. at Nathan Phillips Square. There'll be a delegation as well as an art installation. What we're doing is a bunch of photocopied empty t-shirts with slogans with blank spaces. September 22nd, Thursday, there'll be a There'll be a daycare action at 9:30 a.m. at Nathan Phillips Square. If you can afford to take your kids out of school for a couple hours, I'm sure they'd learn a lot more with us than they would in school for the day. And then finally, we'll be having on September 24th, the annual Take Back the Night event, and you can get information from our little area as far as that goes. And at Parkdale Healthcare Center, there'll be a fair and a rally on the 23rd. So if anyone's interested, you're more than welcome to show up. Also, the Labor Council rally on the 26th.
The idea that we have come up with is doing a general strike. I think we're going to have a Rob Ford be lazy, sit on your ass day. So pretty much Wednesday on the 21st, we're proposing that everyone stop spending. Don't go out and go shopping. Don't go out and buy gas. Sit at home and be Rob Ford and do nothing and eat. We're proposing it for the 21st, the 28th, and October the 5th.
Hi, I just had some ideas on behalf of the transit group. The first, of course, is to do a protest, but possibly in front of Rob Ford's house. It's pretty big and hard to miss. The second is to share some literature. There's a lot of good, as you probably noticed walking around, there are a lot of good ideas being handed out on paper. Try reading some of them and getting involved in some of those ideas. The third is to canvass and do actions in suburbs, especially with regards to transit. The suburbs are where this issue is most misunderstood, but where the benefits can be highest, especially as Toronto continues to grow. If you're from the suburbs, try to organize in your neighborhoods or in your ridings. The fourth is to try to get on, when you're on transit, try to engage people that you think might be interested in issues like this. Carry signs or things you can hand out. Try to get people to become aware of things they can do to protect, obviously, a resource that's of relevance to them.
I'm going to keep this short. My name is Zoe. I'm from the LGBTQ group over there. So, that's right. So, people in our group are going to commit to taking the all-day training, going to the Breakfast of Champions, attending the other actions, and supporting the actions on the 26th and 27th. We believe that we need a strong presence at City Hall all week of the 19th and all the way through, and that this is incredibly crucial. So taking the square like Nathan Phillips Square, having a presence at City Hall is absolutely essential. We also think people should reach out to individual councillors, those people that consider the mushy middle, they should get off the damn fence, and knowing who to reach out to. So, writing them individual letters, and you can go online, you can find out where they're sitting.
I'm with Group 15, the Spanish-speaking community, and what we are doing is we're organizing a caravan from San Lorenzo, which is Lawrence and Dufferin, on September 26th to support the rally. So we will start with a bus at San Lorenzo, and we will continue doing a route. And as we come down to City Hall, we'll be coming to some key points where we'll be picking up additional people. So we hope to have a strong presence on the 26th, supporting the 26th rally. We also are going to be participating in the education on September 18 to do deputations on the 19th. We have already registered, and we will also be participating on the 22nd to support the childcare action.
Hi, my name is Michelle, and I'm speaking on behalf of the Parks and Recreation and Community Centers Working Group. And we want to invite people to recognize the public space of Nathan Phillips Square on the actions on the 26th and 27th. And we want to invite people to to create a play-in. So bring your sports equipment or your yoga mat or your football, whatever. Bring it to Nathan Phillips Square to the action on the 26th and the 27th and play and have fun. The other idea we had was to we saw what an impact the sidewalk chalk had after during the Jack Layton Memorial time. So we invite people to also bring sidewalk chalk to make your ideas heard at the actions on the 26th and 27th. Thanks.
Hi, I'm David. I was with the Immigrant Services group. Since we know that the people of Toronto are against those cuts, we think that the next step to actually stop them, sure, it's to convince people, but actually to show up in numbers and put our bodies on the line to prevent this budget to actually pass in the way it is now. So we encourage people to show up with the idea of embodying our demands. That might be writing the demands, some of the demands that will come up from this declaration on t-shirt. Some people are applying dying. Some people will put their body on the line on the 27th in the morning so that there's a picket line and then councillor walking and need to pass through it. Some people might want to be chanting and be inside of City Hall with, and being there. Some people might just think that showing up the way they are, in their own body is enough to embody our demand, but we want people to show up in numbers and think about what it means to embody our demands and the various ways we can do that to prevent this budget to be voted.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mike. I'm from Devonport, Perth, group number 4. I'm going to keep it really brief and skip over repeating what everybody else has said. Basically, we broke it down to a few things. Community engagement, going into like faith centers, farmers markets, anywhere that people are just gathering, cafes and stuff, and engage people in discussion. We're actually organizing also in our own community a sort of Jane's Walk, where we're going to convene and walk through the community and stop at certain focal points that the cuts are going to affect them.
Hi, my name is Leslie, and I'm representing Parkdale. We were over there, area number 6, and we had a few ideas, but in the interest of keeping it short, the number one idea we came up with is to ask everybody in every area to massive email, snail mail, voicemail, city councilors in your area, and tell them, that you're against all of these cuts, and ask them why. One particular question: why are they letting Rob Ford bully them around? Who are they more afraid of, Rob Ford or us, the voters? And copy that email to everybody in your address book and ask them to do the same. So tell them to do the same. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Derek here. I'm from number 9 Scarborough. First thing we need here, and we have a lot of people here, I appreciate everybody coming together, is community unity, mobilization of people, starting with the universities, with the young people. Because our future is at stake and our children's future are at stake, and we're not going to take these Rob Ford's cuts. So what about a National Library Day where we all go into our essential services, libraries across the city, we rent books and we show up at City Hall at the same day? What about a National Art Exhibit Day? They want to cut funding for our programs. Well, let's get people united in front of City Hall. Just like when Jack Layton passed away, our city, our country came together. We chalked across City Hall all over. We can do that with artists.
So if you're a university student, reach out to your University of Toronto Scarborough friends and get them to mobilize, because you guys, this is a critical mass here, and you guys are talking about the issues that are important to people in Scarborough: transit and daycare. This is where we're getting cut. And
hello, my name is Roy Mitchell. This is Max. What's your name? All right, lovely to meet all you people. How beautiful. And our group was community grants and employment services, and we sat around. These are the actions we came up with. There's a life drawing class that's going to happen at City Hall on October 21st. We're going to have a life drawing class in a committee room at City Hall, and then go into the chambers and draw the politicians with draw them. No, really beautiful, any way you want. Be kind, because drawing somebody is capturing their soul, and if they have souls, we'll capture them. And then we're going to have a show of all this beautiful art that we draw. So, and there'll be food, and there'll be a lot of loving. So it's an art movement called Creative Response Toronto. Check it out on Facebook. We're planning a lot of actions around arts and trying to make that happen.
Hello folks, my name's Pat. I was with Group 5, Downtown East. We have a meeting on September 14th at 6 p.m. for the Downtown East. We're going to be planning some stuff coming up for the next couple of weeks. The primary focus of our conversation was around stuff on the 26th and the 27th. We want to have a really strong presence out from the Downtown East to the rally on the 26th, along with the camp out on the night of the 26th, and have a really strong presence going into the vote on the 27th, where we talked about what actions we'd be comfortable with, and the consensus we reached is that we would be comfortable with any action up to and including disrupting the budget vote on the morning of the 27th. The name of our organization is Toronto Stop the Cuts. We also recognize that these cuts are going to be implemented regardless. Our fight doesn't end with a budget vote. The Downtown East is committed to fighting these cuts regardless of what happens on the 27th. We want to maintain a viable and strong presence in our neighborhood to fight for the services we need.
Hi, I'm Steph.
Hey, what's up? I'm Paolo, and this is Ezra helping us out with our little setup.
We represent the Environment and Cycling Group, and we had a couple of suggestions. First of all, there are a lot of people who may not know that there is another rally that's going to be occurring on September 26th in Ottawa. It's a rally to say no to the tar sands. And There are many rallies like this that are happening around the country and around the province right now.
You know, we're talking about local issues. Why don't we maybe source local food to bring to our event? If you're able to network with us and help us get local food to bring to the events and maybe prepare, then come approach us and just let us know. Also, if you're a cyclist, since we're talking about cycling issues, maybe you could bring your helmet to the event. You know, wear your helmet on your belt, on your head, you know, just represent.